0 hours, day 12, 2022. We will keep our effort, but now considering the overview of things we did, we could have in the first conversation Monday 11 July 2022 that we have two conjunctures, and these two conjunctures are now inside a design named the Mintzberg design, and it's very equal considering all things. We have this symbol on economy, which is the identity. The identity as design maybe will not be presented as equality. We had this conversation in the first week of this trial. It's about discrimination. We are having the outsource, the technical staff here as the International Criminal Court and the organization as American states. In Portuguese, it's named the OEA. We will have here the law enforcement as task force, considering the Interpol, the directory as Federal Bureau of Investigation about international corruption and transnational organized crime, the OECD, since not inside the issues complaint. If you are talking about the public budget and failure observed in Brazil, they shouldn't be inside the budget, Brazil, to be, the not partial observation of the comparative measurement by the identity as design and confirm the not equality as values from this design. This brings ourselves to the public departments America, the public departments Brazil, identity as distribution of power, which is the public power and the state power in some cases. But the identical structure will expose that sometimes you do the exchanged market of decisions, judicial decision. You are dealing and have self-dealing based on the state power. This is a treason. And we have no equality. One more time. This goes inside specific departments inside the public administration America, the public administration Brazil. In Brazil was unfortunately explicit proved by the notoriety of facts and circumstances as integrated failure. This integrated failure in general will take advantage of all things by the misuse of prerogative, especially by transference from public budget. And we will have banks on it. We will have the domestic bank Brazil, the foreigner bank international system, the judicial power, the public administration America observing, the public administration Brazil observing the bank. We will have the foreigner bank and the Brazilian bank, the public administration Brazil, the public administration, in this case America. We have identity as design, but we will have one more time not equal behavior inside the organogram as design, which is a system of control. The failure perpetrated and taking advantage of all things, especially against this research, the moral entity, the interest on it, the security system, and all things complained leads ourselves to systematic behavior from the warning up to 33 trillion. Systematic and progression. We will observe that we had 0, 33, and the progressive behavior here. The continuity of this crossed the limit as compensation by your dishonest behavior. You are now committing a fraud against legitimacy of discredit, the legal right as compensation, which is inside my basic rights and guarantees. And you insisted, annoying me and bugging me around even inside my private living, by interference at the communication, and if I have and suggesting to, for instance, observe my email account by this judicial power that got in touch with the issue at the very first time this moment, and they are trying to understand if we have obstruction and you do interference to such a misperception. You did the interference at the judicial power international, in the same way as my phone calls. And your dishonest behavior is, unfortunately, an extra charge against you as 2 billion inside 1 billion as the harassment case against the integrated failure that only had discontinuity as systematic and incremental, have the increasement as a progression by the continuity of values inside, which has signatures on bank and in some cases or many cases with transference from Brazil to a foreigner bank. And Brazil is state and public administration never reported this. But this foreigner bank receiving the money from the Brazilian bank, and by blind eye of Brazilian public administration will not maybe be supported by the American public administration, that now is confirmed that they are not equals. And the conjuncture as a result, of course, that are not equals in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, up to 2028, we will observe that things indeed are different. We will raise the board and have something here quite simple, which is only the skeleton, I think that is the word, the bones of this thing, which is something simple, something, very humble and for cooperative purpose, which is have a driver alpha and a driver beta at the same design for comparative measurement, at the same design for comparative measurement, considering failures inside all around the globe, and these failures going as pandemic crime, we must consider the outsourcing, the technical staff here. We did the division of this technical staff, but the idea is like this. This will be now distributed as a functional system, which is this idea at the board. You have this idea and you know that you are in deep shit by industrial crime committed, warfare, and all things, warfare by the communication, industrial crime by the violation, even as privacy. The distribution of values between alpha and beta will give me the conjuncture or the macro environment as security form. We will have the alpha and the beta. The idea is like this. The crosscut between alpha and beta will give me the situation A and the situation B. We will have a drill down, which is a deeper dive, and we will have the A and the B. The cross-cut between we had this conversation, you filthy animal. In the very first week, you committed all those crimes. And the B. The failures on it will give me the A and the B. And now we will have the A and the B, which you both indeed are equal, you know, and they will be unfortunately crossed. To understand who is kind of changing the color or the perception about all things, SAB blue, and the determinant of this matrix is the C. We did the situation like this. We had our matrix with alpha until beta, and inside this space that has a name, is named Banach's space. We had the internal dot product as a failure, which is an array, an interval here that can be presented as the interval notation or an interval inside my matrix that now is SAB. And I will repeat this one more time, having the depuration SAB. You know, and now in the last moment I will have the C as corruption of my matrix. As I told you, when I'm proving this, I must have this failure at the very, you know, specific situation that your matrix will be failure. Can be as your conjuncture comparative, as you can observe at the board, can be by the public management and administration, that must be according with the law, and you act as corporate peer, acting until the limits of the law. And of course that this misperception is the reason of your wrongdoing. And then you will have the failures. This goes by conjuncture with institution inside. The institutions are represented by buildings, and inside these buildings we have departments, and in each department we have chairs. Corruption by chairs, associated and integrated like this, it's named transnational organized crime. Have a good night.